Canucks and Oilers in their first of 6 meetings this season. To the broadcast booth where it's Mark Lee with Darryl Ray. Mark.
Thank you, Scott. Edmonton's hockey prodigies face some heavy lifting tonight against the Stanley Cup finalists in a bad mood after a slow start. Roberto Luongo makes his third start, still looking for his first win. Is there a goalie under more pressure with an inauspicious .855 save percentage so far? Devan Dubnyk beat Pittsburgh in Edmonton's home opener in a 2-1 shootout. He has a gaudy .971 save percentage and is in a pitched battle with veteran Nick Habibulin in a terrific start for the Oilers goalies. The referees tonight, Brad Watson and Dean Morton, and on the lines, Lonnie Cameron and Derek Manson. The Canucks have 1 win in 4 games, another slow October, still looking to score the first goal in a game this season against Edmonton, with a win in a shootout and a loss in a shootout. And already Eberle hard on the forecheck. The young Oilers, the kid line, Eberle, Nugent, Hopkins, and Hall starting this hockey game against this revamped second line for Vancouver, with Chris Higgins replacing Marco Sturm on the wing as Hall goes down on the outside and takes a hip check. A beautiful hip check from Keith Ballard, but a turnover now. Here's Eberle in front off the skate of Hall. Back into the corner. Hodgson with Samuelson and Higgins to start this game up front in a great pace in the opening minute here at Rexall Place. Nugent Hopkins finding Taylor Hall, meandering his way away from Burrows on the ice now with the Sedins, who lead the Canucks with 5 points each in the early going of this season for Vancouver. Now Ballard up the middle, tipped in by Burrows. In behind the net to the corner it comes. Burrows hard on the forecheck for the Canucks. Tipping it, Freeman right onto the stick. Sean Horkoff to the veteran. Ryan Smith, his pass hit a skate. Ryan Jones, and right back up ice come the Sedins. Rink wide. Daniel, a shot up into the shoulder of Devan Dubnyk.
Boy, Ryan Smith would be the last guy on the ice you'd expect to turn a puck over in neutral ice. Can't do that against the Sedins. Here's the opening face-off. Much said about Nugent Hopkins' inability to win draws. He rips the first one away from Cody Hodgson, and that patented Ballard hip check that if he goes a little too low gets him in hot water, but a perfectly executed one down the right wing boards there.
Yeah, he got a penalty for that
Yes.
in Detroit. And Nugent Hopkins, as you mentioned, was 3-20 in the faceoff circle, coming here tonight with a great opening faceoff win. Malhotra gets the draw right back to Hamhuis. Rink wide pass. There's Bieksa, shot right on at the side of the goal. Corey Potter in the lineup tonight for Jeff Petrie. Manages to stay out of the zone. Bayarby struggling in the neutral zone with the puck, and it's sent right back in. And a weird bounce that nearly caught Dubnyk wandering. He had to use the paddle.
Don't take your eyes off it. Wow.
Hamhuis back in his own end. This will be icing the call against Edmonton after a close call in their own end.
Well, Roberto Luongo had an issue with a puck like that in Philadelphia earlier on this road trip. Another simple little dump into the zone that goes off a stanchion of the glass, and if Dubnyk just leaves and anticipates it's going in behind, I don't know if he gets back. He's 6'5", he can get back from anywhere, from the corner.
At the point, Andrew Alberts in for Chris Tanev on the blue line tonight for Vancouver. Keeps it in. Salo at the other side. The pass goes right back, but out of the air. The puck is knocked down by Linus Omark. In behind the net now. Henrik Sedin to the side, looking for Salo, creeping in from the point. And he's all tied up by Payarby. At center ice, Daniel. Rink wide pass, and it's chipped back into the zone by Henrik, who loses an edge in the neutral zone.
Be interesting to see if this is the pair on defense for Tom Rennie against the Sedins all night.
Ryan Smith dropping for Horkoff with a burst of speed. Short angle shot stopped by Luongo with a crowd in his crease. Back comes Dale Weiss to Alberts, who tips it back in the zone. Lapierre along the boards, can't keep it in. And now Smith again. The center, Horkoff gains the line, dropping it for Ryan Jones. His shot tipped just wide of the Vancouver goal. Horkoff leaving it for Smith in behind the net. Smith tries to wrap around on Luongo, and he holds him at bay on the short side of the net as they congregate and push and shove after the whistle.
It's been a spirited start and a speedy one from the Oilers on their attack. Smith and Luongo with a word to one another on the tail end of all that. Twice they were able to challenge Luongo from sharp angles. And the first bid looked like it was more problematic than this one on the little spinorama cram play. Here's Smith, one of the best from that position to the front of the net, or tipping pucks in front. Couldn't lose Luongo on it. Been a good start, I think, from what the Canucks would like to do. You got to think they want to play a solid team game where they force this young Oilers team into mistakes and then feast on those. And for Edmonton, use your asset, speed and aggression on the attack.
And that's what Tom Rennie was saying this morning. We've got to use our speed and try to get to them 200 feet from our net. Gilbert misses the puck in front for Malhotra, and his howitzer sails into the glass. Now Bieksa looking for a slap pass. Malhotra couldn't reach it at the side of the Edmonton goal. Tom Gilbert ahead to Eric Belanger. Edmonton out swiftly as PRV charges alone up the right side. Tried to swing it underneath of Hamhuis, and he wasn't buying that. Bieksa is rocked by Belanger in front of the Canucks bench. So Edmonton showing a little moxie here on their home ice to start the game. And we got a Vancouver penalty coming here as Hansen heads to the penalty box for the Canucks.
Cross-checking Minor. He was the Canuck forward that went to the riding crop to get back as a tracking forward and break up that rush for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll get a look at what so far has been a dry Oilers power play. They worked on it this morning. You know, didn't have any penalty killers against it, but it was pretty obvious what they wanted to do. Simple, double net presence in front and get pucks past that first blocker and to the Canuck net.
And the Oilers are 0 for 7 on the power play so far this season, ranked 25th in the NHL. Will open with their #2 power play unit on the ice. Omar at center with speed, with Payarvi. Tipping it to Payarvi in, and a great save by Luongo.
Boy, that speed down the wings of the Oilers has been evident here early.
Gilbert struggling with the puck, manages to keep it in. A turnover in the zone. Smith can't get it past the stick of Chris Higgins, who's been a real workhorse for the Canucks this season early on. Higgins again coming back, trying to tie up Omar. Omar turns it over to Burrows, and Ballard will send it the length of the ice.
Hot potato for both sides. The Canucks have a lot of cagey guys that can kill penalties up front. One bobble and they're gone too.
Now it's Horkoff, Nugent Hopkins, and Eberle up front. Corey Potter playing along with Hall as well up front. Potter on the right point. Horkoff in the corner. Down the ice it comes. Potter, they like his shot, and they like the way he finds the right sticks in front.
And he's a right shot. I think that's a big key to it as well. One of those individuals that just knows how to get the initial shot from the point past the first blocker.
Hall gets it in the zone, but not deep. And we got a whistle at the line on the delayed offside.
Well, Roberto Luongo with a couple of saves to his left, and then a real snappy one on this brisk rush by Payarvi, who got in behind. What a lovely little pass to send him in on a tough angle. He drew two defenders to that, and zing. They use speed as an asset on both sides of their special teams here in Edmonton.
Back in the zone with 40 seconds to go in the Oilers power play. The exit around to Malhotra, keeps it going. Hamhuis finds a seam and gets it back deep. Dubnik out to play it in the corner. Ahead to Payarvi. He has to regroup as Lapierre was right there. Cam Parker trying to find a new life here in Edmonton. Headmans the puck to Payarvi. Payarvi going hard around Bieksa. Bieksa cuts him off at the pass. At the point it's kept in. Gilbert to the half boards. Now Omar. Very crafty with the puck into the corner. Payarvi out of the corner. In front is Ryan Smith. Penalty is over. Hansen back on the ice. One shot on goal for Edmonton during their power play. Payarvi throwing it deep again. Omar tries to center it off the skate of Bieksa. Goes right to Burrows, and he chips it back down the ice as the Canucks get a change. Schmid setting up, partnered with Peckham here on defense for Edmonton. A thin spot with Ryan Whitney still not ready to go. That puck came in offside. 14:09 to go here in the first.
Well, Lane Vigneault with some injuries and a little early season malaise. He is experimenting with some combos and looking for better team play overall in a full 60-minute effort. And they've had spurts within their games so far this season where they've looked like the team that went to the 7th game of the Stanley Cup final, but other times they've looked uninvolved.
Yeah, his only line going right now is the Sedin line with Burrows, and he's got the blender going already. 5 games into the season. One point he had Malhotra on the wing on the 4th line the other night. Marco Sturm, who struggled with just 1 shot so far this year, has gone down to the 3rd line.
They didn't have a lot of their veteran players, another stiff hit there, play in the preseason. So the first few games have been like the preseason for this veteran Canuck team.
Couple of big hits. Hall hard on the forecheck as he heads to the bench now. And the Canucks head up ice. Keith Ballard to center, just missing him. And down in a heap is Darcy Hordichuk, the former Canuck, who misjudged that point of attack and is slow to get up. So Hordichuk, trying to make his presence felt early against his former team, is slow to the bench for Edmonton. Around early, Darryl.
Well, Alex Edler is one of the best step-up body crushers, and he showed it there on Eberle. And then Ballard with everything but the cape to say ole to Darcy Hordichuk with his first shift of the game.
He was on the ice for 3 seconds and came off the ice looking like he was shaken up, and has since gone to the locker room, then back out onto the bench. He was walking it off, it looked like, down in the hallway.
He filled some notebooks this morning about what he was going to do in this game.
Yes, he's been chomping at the bit. In the preseason, he was running around trying to get at Todd Fedoruk a couple of scraps. But Tom Renning says he doesn't need to fight in this game. He just needs to make his physical presence felt. Up ice, Ryan Jones tipping it in behind Alberts. Sallow in front of Jones, hard for the puck in behind the net. It comes free to Smith and knocked away from him by Alberts. Now Burrows knocked down, and he's going to draw a penalty to Ryan Smith. Smith threw his arms up, pleading his innocence right away, but he goes directly to the penalty box.
Well, the Oilers have been pretty hard on the forecheck. There's a good look at that relic of a wooden stick that he utilizes. It looked like he was trying to go after the puck in behind the net with Burrows and ended up tripping him up. So this Canuck power play goes on the job. Little puck battle in deep. The Oilers have used that wide speed and some deep pressure. Put the stick where it causes the player to trip, and you're going to go off.
So the Canucks, who were top ranked in the power play a year ago, currently 13th in the NHL. 3 for 18 on the power play as they get the draw. Back to Bieksa at the point. At the circle, Marco Sturm down low. Hodgson looking for Hamhuis, who was wide open on the backside, but the puck popped over his stick.
They didn't have that defended whatsoever.
Now deep again, Hodgson. A blind pass to the point. Bieksa, rink wide. Hamhuis waiting. Now it's Higgins camped in front of Dubnyk. Bieksa on the right side to the middle at the blue line. Hamhuis, Hodgson fires, pad save. Dubnyk flashing the left leg on that save as the Oilers get it down the ice.
Yeah, a good example of how Devin Dubnyk has become a better goaltender by not doing as much in there. Relaxed, economy of movement, found that through traffic, and a big save.
Stopped 33 of 34 in that shootout win against Pittsburgh in the home opener last week. Burrows cuts off Schmid. Schmid takes Burrows' legs out behind the net. They can't get it out. Samuelsson throwing for a tip in front by Daniel Sedin. Couldn't reach it. Edler back into the high slot. Henrik to Daniel, back to the point. Alex Edler along the boards. Daniel to Samuelsson. Takes the shot, now looks for a slap pass right through the slot. It goes all the way back down to center ice. Daniel tipping it for Henrik. Burrows stayed on side according to the linesman. Now back to the point it comes. Samuelsson finds Edler at the right side, in front, tip right into the slot. Burrows jamming away, and off comes the net as Peckham rams Burrows into the goalpost.
Paid a price to sniff around for a loose puck. This is that patented Sedin shot pass, though, into the slot area. Set it up. First tip, 2 good saves in tight, and then talk about pay a toll. Trying to take the eyes away from the goaltender, Dubnyk. Stayed with it, couldn't get the bounce, and anarchy ensued on the outskirts of that. He's had a lot of chances, Alex Burrows.
Well, he came in with a team-leading 14 shots on goal. Here's Bieksa at close range. Backhand right back on goal by Chris Higgins. A blast by Sallow. He scores! shallow from 25 feet out, and no chance for Devin Dubnyk. 1-0 Vancouver.
Well, this was just a mess right from the face-off loss, and the Oilers haven't been able, or win that turned into a loss, and the Oilers couldn't scramble and find their footing. A wide open Sammy Salo from 25 feet is not a good thing. He's got a bazooka. You can see the scramble that ensued down near the net, and just like that, although the Oilers had a peppy start, they find themselves down with a power play goal.
That's the first power play goal in 12 straight power plays against that Edmonton has given up after 11 straight kills. It's Salo with his first of the year. Higgins and Bieksa on the assist for the power play marker, and a 1-0 lead. And for the first time this season, the Canucks have scored the first goal of the game.
See whether that settles their overall team game down a little bit. They don't have to chase the game, even though it's just one goal. Salo utilized on the power play throughout his career in Vancouver for that very reason, especially on two-man advantages, to wire that puck from distance. But he was solo in the slot area when the Oilers could not sort things out after, ironically, a sort of face-off win.
The Canucks are deadly last year with a 41-2-6 when they scored the first goal. An icing call against Vancouver, and they just control the pace and dictate the terms when they get up by one.
Some of the things are falling in place for them right now. They've the best road power play in the league. They cash in. They're great with their tail in the air as the lead dog. They're up on this one. They got a big save from Roberto Luongo early on the Bay RV chance.
Yeah, the Oilers were storming the ramparts early and looked a little disorganized in the kill in their own zone there. Horkoff into the corner, back to the point. Cam Barker walking the line, throws it in front, tipped. Comes off the stick of Jones. He's back to keep it in play. Jones gloves it this time. Off the boards, it's broken up by Marco Sturm. Up the left side, Malhotra dropping for Hansen, back to Malhotra. And that one deflecting off Barker right across the Edmonton goalmouth.
Where the Oilers got caught up ice, no help. Numbers for the Canucks coming back, and not a lot of help as far as forwards coming back.
Aaron Volpatti, physical, forces a turnover. The puck dragged right through the goalmouth with Lapierre there. Edmonton will have to flip it down the ice. Another icing call here as they continue to have trouble getting out of their own zone.
Well, Saturday night in the National Hockey League, and not a lot of tourists on the forecheck in this game. You get a chance to get in and get a lick on a defenseman. They're doing so. Volpatti wiped out after the initial charge in. Tried to just get it to the front of the net. I think you're going to see more and more of what the Canucks would like to do. Pucks deep, challenge this Oiler defense as the game moves along.
Daniel Sedin was down and favoring his face, and Jones may have caught him with his stick as the officials talk about it in the Edmonton zone. But now Sedin is going to the box, and I think it's an interference call.
I think you're right.
There it is right here. Sedin taking out the feet of Jones. Luongo under pressure to have a good one here tonight, and he started out very well.
Yeah, he hasn't been overworked, but some tricky stuff from the angles. There's his best stop on KRV. Settled down. He was, you know, very honest in his self-evaluation this morning here, pointing the finger at himself as much as the group. I think he's been like a microcosm of the entire Canuck team.
They'll need him now with the Oilers on the power play. Daniel Sedin in the box for interference at 10-13. Eberle in the circle. Down low for Taylor Hall, trying to get away from Bieksa. Back to the point. Potter gets the return feed from Eberle. The Oilers trying to cash in here. Nugent Hopkins to the corner. Gets the return pass from Taylor Hall. The #1 overall pick in the 2011 draft to the corner. Hall back to the point. Potter to Eberle. Still no shot here. Edmonton kept in the periphery. Now through and tipped by Nugent Hopkins just wide. Corey Potter leaving it now. Nugent Hopkins walks in, fires, and it's blocked by Hamhuis. Taylor Hall drops it to the corner. Hopkins keeps it coming for Horkoff. In the near corner. Sean Horkoff behind the net. Hopkins keeps it going. Hall loses it on the poke check by Bieksa, and it's cleared down the ice by Malhotra.
Pretty good rotation from that group, and I would think the exact thing they were looking to get, which was a puck near the net with two guys right on the doorstep of Roberto Luongo.
Harvey Rimming it around the boards. Charging is Ryan Smith. Edler hems him at the boards. Barker rink wide. Tom Gilbert fires. Rebound to Ryan Smith in behind the net at the half boards. Payarvi down low. Ryan Smith back to Payarvi. Barker on the backside. Gilbert back to Payarvi into the corner now. Linus Omar at the circle. Ryan Smith camped in front. Omar can't get the pass through. Keith Ballard.
Kind of forced that one to the high tip. They had Smith down at the net again.
Back in the zone. The Oilers can't get organized, and Elbers throws it right on goal. One shot on goal so far for this Oiler power play. 10 seconds to go with the Daniel Sedin penalty. Barker up ice, charging. Leonard Petrel. The feisty Finn is drummed down the ice by Salo. In the corner now. Bounces behind the net. The penalty is over. Gloved at center. Daniel Sedin back out of the penalty box. Turns inside his own line and chips it inside the Oiler line. Peckham firing it hard to the far corner. Icing indicated and touched by Bieksa as we join Scott.
Well, Mark, Darrell mentioned earlier Darcy Hordichuk quite vocal this morning on what he plans to do tonight. One of the things he said he was going to do was abuse the Sedins, but Hordichuk got the worst of this collision with Keith Ballard in the first period. Initially left the bench to walk off what looked like a lower body injury. Now he's in the Oiler room under examination.
During the preseason, he was, going on about how Sean Thornton saved his job and a lot of the other guys, tough guys' jobs in the NHL with the intimidation that he inflicted on the Canucks during the Stanley Cup final. Canucks this week, Henrik Sedin saying nobody can intimidate us. We'll take the hits and go on the power play if you like. Bieksa hammering a shot wide. Hamhuis can't catch up to keep it in play. Backing in front of his own net to Bieksa. Up ice, Henrik Sedin. Chipping it off the backboards. A set play for Daniel. Beaten to the puck by Schmid. And a hooking call coming here. And I think Daniel's going back in the penalty box.
You're absolutely right. You're right with the set play. Get it in behind the Oiler defense and go after it. But a subtle little hook has the Oilers right back on the power play. Tied up in there. See guys now clamp down when they feel that any kind of stick on their torso, and he got the call.
So hooking call to Sedin at 12:56. Edmonton 0 for 2 on the power play with just 2 shots on goal.
And you can see that big problem for the Oilers last year on special teams were face-offs, and they lose another one immediately here, and it kills off 20 seconds of their power play.
Tom Rennie's saying special teams a priority for this hockey team. And a race for that puck, and Hamhuis and Hall go down in the heat. Comes free, pinching his Potter, throwing it back in the corner for Eberle. To Hall. Hall leaves it for Nugent Hopkins, back to Eberle. Eberle turning away from Bieksa in the corner. Nugent Hopkins in close confines, back to Eberle. Now Hall to the near side, back to the point. Horkoff drops it for Taylor Hall, looking for space. Down low, Eberle, Nugent Hopkins, scores! Well, the kids finally got it going. And Nugent Hopkins has his second NHL goal here on the power play tonight to tie it at 1.
Well, the Canucks penalty killing was hyper-aggressive early and then had it in good stead here, but it's the puck movement and the swift decision by Eberle down low to get it through the crease. Roberto Luongo ends up on his belly again after the initial save.
He took 3 whacks at that, I think.
Nice hand-eye coordination. Watch this. 1, 2. The second one ate up Luongo, couldn't keep his torso up. The kid's going to stick if this keeps going.
Not dissimilar from his first goal when he got a second crack at it on the backhand.
Right. He's scoring the Ryan Smith goals.
Yeah, the greasy goals down low. Listen to this crowd as they announce Ryan Nugent Hopkins with his second of the season. And only the 3rd goal in 3 games scored by the Oilers. Here's Potter faking the shot. Rink wide, Sutton blocked by Dale Weiss. Weiss had broken his stick and couldn't pursue the puck.
How many times do you see that, though, where you get stacked up penalty kills like the Canucks ended up?
Here's a fight now. It's Sutton and Aaron Volpatti. The big man Sutton gets a shot in right away, and he ragdolls Volpatti. Now Volpatti back up, and they're really throwing jackhammers, and they go to the ice. Well, Volpatti really trying to prove himself after he was a healthy scratch in the game in Detroit. They'll go to the box in a heated scrap here in Edmonton. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the power play to tie it for Edmonton.
Pads in our bio presented by Subway Restaurants. They qualify for their own bio because parts of them are 16 years old. The lace-up part on the front remains from the first pair Smith wore when he came into the league in '95. Over the years, about 3 other pieces have been replaced, and most recently, the foam padded caps that all players have been required to wear since last season were sewn on. You could ask why he just doesn't get a new pair, but to a hockey player, Mark, that'd be a stupid question.
And he was telling us, Scott, this morning he went to the Eskimos, the equipment man, Dwayne Mandusiak, to get those soft foam shoulder parts underneath in that Jerry Rig shoulder pad outfit.
He's old school.
He sure is.
Time 14 minutes, 27 seconds.
Henrik Sedin dragging the puck and chipping it ahead. Edler jumping into the plate, loses his edge in the corner in front of Tom Gilbert, who comes up with the puck. Gilbert pinned along the boards, finally gets it free to Horkoff, and Horkoff will lug it out of the zone himself. Sean Horkoff chipping it in the zone. Luongo leaves it, playing it around for Daniel Sedin. The Sedin twins at center as Daniel drifts it in the corner, and they head for a change. Off the bench, Jannik Hansen. Check that, Michael Samuelsson. Samuelsson, a saucer pass, Chris Higgins trying to get around Barker, who loses his stick on the play, leaving it for Samuelsson. Samuelsson in front off the paddle and covered by Dubnyk. Well, what a contrast when you look at the first 2 lines in this Edmonton outfit. They've got the kid line reunited for the first time since they played a preseason game, and Ryan Smith with all the experience on the second line.
Over 1,000 games played. You know, some newbies on that top line that were instrumental in the Oilers getting this game back to level again. It's going to be a good addition, though. Ryan Smith, the right type of character, teach the kids how to play the right way when they come into the league.
A short angle shot there by Samuelsson, and they push and shove after the whistle. We'll take an opportunity to remind you Powerhouse Sundays kick off with an all-new Heartland, followed by the Battle of the Blades performance show and Cover Me Canada. It all starts tomorrow at 7 on CBC. You know that kid line, when they played together for the first time in the preseason against Phoenix, Nugent-Hopkins had a goal and 2 assists for 3 points, and Taylor Hall had 2 goals and an assist for 3 points. And Tom Rennie was saying he really loves the synergy of these young guys.
The more they can play in the attacking zone rather than their own zone, the better.
The X along the boards. Daniel Sedin off the skate of Schmid using the poke check. Henrik on the puck, can't get it past Brian Jones, but Daniel back to the point. Hamhuis wrists it right on the backhand of a wide open net, and Henrik couldn't pull the trigger.
Well, you could see the Oilers struggle at times with their defensive zone coverage. Jones should have been out on that point. They just seem there's indecision, and don't make mistakes with this line on the ice for the Canucks.
Daniel dumps it on goal. They head for a change. Tom Gilbert with time and space to come out of his own end. A bounce pass, Eberle. Had it chip off his stick in behind the net. In 3 to Nugent-Hopkins. And a sharp angle shot stopped by Luongo. Another shot from the point by Beckham.
Puck follows this kid.
Whatever.
And he knows where to go.
Hansen gets it in. Dubnyk fumbling it behind his net. Sturm hard on the forecheck on Barker. In behind to the near corner it comes. Hecker chased down, loses the puck. Sturm now on it behind the net, in front for Hansen. And Eberle got his stick on that as it flipped over the net.
Yeah, pretty good read by young Eberle.
Again, Sturm trying to center the puck. Held at bay by Cam Barker. Hansen gets it rink wide for Keith Ballard. Ballard to the circle. It glances off the skate to the near side. Beckham chips it up the boards. Hall gets it out. Here's Eberle. 1-on-2. Eberle in. A glove save. Loose puck for Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins. And stopped by Luongo.
Well, this is an artful stop by Luongo on the business end of a bunch of good for the Edmonton Oilers. Look at that puck. get it settled down and rip it. No problem with Roberto Luongo's glove side there. Hopkins anticipating, finding it quickly on net. Very alert save by Luongo again. His anticipation of where the puck's going to go, and he's very hungry when he does lose the puck and wants to get it back.
From the point, a blast by Corey Potter. That's that big right-handed shot that Rennie was talking about. Now Salo. Patience in his own zone. No pressures. The Oilers back off. Alberts up to Dale Weiss. He's chipped. Dubnyk stays in goal. Lapierre taken into the boards by Potter. Lapierre gets the puck free to Weiss on the corner now. Dropping it back for Lapierre. Throwing it in behind the net. Dale Weiss is fourth line against the Oiler fourth line. Anton Lander will flip it to an open corner now. And Payarby, who looks like he's taking Hordichuk's spot on the left wing, gets it to the far corner. Back up ice, it's Tom Gilbert. Off the boards and back in the Vancouver zone. This will be icing as Bieksa touches up for the Canucks.
Well, you can see this young Oiler team at times overthink things in their own. It's too difficult to play when you're thinking and not just doing. And you can see individuals, Petrell and the defenseman Gilbert ended up standing next to one another and looking at one another and trying to figure out, watch right in the slot area. They both end up in the slot area. They're looking at one another and they're covering each other. Not a Canuck.
It's like after you, Alphonse.
It's not a bad thing to just go to home base in the slot and work from there.
Bieksa, a shot that doesn't get through. Hodgson on it quickly. His centering attempt knocked down by Gilbert. Tom Gilbert with the puck on his stick, flipping it high to center. Knocked down by Hamhuis with Payarby on him. Lander on the boards. Payarby doesn't get it deep. Hamhuis goes to the left wing. There's Chris Higgins already with 2 goals this young season. His shot missing on the short side, a glancing shot. Now Hodgson is manhandled behind the net by Schmid and comes free. Waiting for it there was Horkoff. Down goes Ryan Smith. Higgins vigorous on the forecheck for the Canucks. Hamhuis plays it in behind the net. Smith is there. Higgins chasing Schmid now as Jones gets it to the line and just out. Hodgson couldn't keep it in. Jones now headmanning the puck. Horkoff can't reach it. Back come the Canucks in transition. Get into the skates of Hodgson. Back to Horkoff. Final minute here of the opening period. Both teams are scrambly here. As Bieksa circles in front of Luongo. A long stretch pass was looking for Burrows. Intercepted by Taylor Hall. Hall in. Rebound covered by Luongo. Great speed by Taylor Hall as he intercepted that stretch pass for Burrows.
Yeah, late in what was a scrambly shift for both teams. Bieksa out of his own zone. It's like a cornerback that couldn't see the coverage. The speed of Hall's going to generate a scoring chance off of a gift pass like that. And again, Luongo, who's been very sharp here in the opening period, to the rescue.
At the point, Gilbert plays it back to the half boards. There's Hall struggling in front of Sturm, gets it to Eberle in the corner. Jordan Eberle to the point. Gilbert, touch pass, deflected, he scores! Nugent Hopkins again! What a tip!
This is so subtle and so perfect all at the same time. The timing of it, the placement of it. They win the loss on the faceoff. Taylor Hall with the good hustle to do that. And then watch the timing. Right on the dot, reads the play, circles under the corner, times it perfectly toward the net. I don't think Luongo ever saw it. Not only does he get the tip on, and a good work at the blue line to make sure the initial shot toward the net doesn't get deflected. Upstairs, short side, Oiler lead.
Tom Rennie said this would be the heavy lifting test for these kids. And boy, what a first period. Passing with flying colors, Ryan Nugent Hopkins with his second of the night and third of the season.
The assist to number 77.
A deft deflection in front of Luongo with 29 seconds to go in the period to take the lead. Nugent Hopkins from Gilbert and Eberle at 19:31.
Well, he's one of those individuals that just constantly scans the ice and reads what's going to happen. It's a real good play by Gilbert, though. It's a tough pass initially to him at the point, and then the big key is just make sure you get it past the initial blocker up top. On his backhand, subtle, little screen set up, boom.
Yeah, Manny Malhotra was right there, and Luongo didn't see where the contact was made, I don't think. Horn will sound to end this rousing first period in Edmonton. The flashy rookie Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with 2 goals, 1 on the power play, and Sammy Salo to open the scoring on the power play for Vancouver. But it's 2-1 Edmonton after 1. Scott?
And Mark
Here at home in Edmonton, 2 goals, 1 on power play, and a 2-1 lead for the Oilers. Sammy Salo, a power play goal, scoring on Vancouver's only power play of that first period.
And that's the way the Canucks are getting half their scoring right now, is on the power play. They need a little more to show up at even strength.
Scoring depth continues to be an issue for Vancouver as Nugent-Hopkins hauls the puck up to Eberle with 2 assists in that first period.
But they got a lot of that going on tonight. This line use that unbridled speed, just chip and go.
Forcing another turnover in the Canucks zone as Peckham hammers it back deep. Nugent-Hopkins reaching for it, can't quite get a handle on it as Edler gets it to center. Parker to his partner, Theo Peckham. Into the skates is Malhotra. And now it's deep again. Here comes Nugent-Hopkins right in on goal, holding it for Hall. He could have shot. Missing Hall as Burrows goes back up ice with Malhotra. Burrows drags the puck away from Gilbert, who may have got his stick on it, then Schmid drives him into the board. Daniel Sedin. Bounce pass to Bieksa. His shot off a skate. It comes right to Henrik. Looking for Daniel, back to the point. Bieksa, slap pass down low. Henrik beating it up the side of the net, back into the crease, and it's Nugent-Hopkins back in his own end to clear that puck out of danger.
Knew where it was going to probably go. He's right in the crease when he swept it out. Long shift for him.
Hall racing for it, but at the end of his shift, he'll give up on it and head for a change.
Boy, the kid's doing it at both ends of the rink.
He's got great defensive responsibility. That was the first thing that really impressed Tom Rennie. Wise beyond his years. As the Canucks get it deep, Dubnyk looking for help, leaves it for Ryan Jones. He throws it over top, but it was tipped. And no call there. Face off deep inside the Edmonton zone.
Well, he tried to pass to the late guy, his line mate, Hall at one end, and then in this scramble around the Oiler net, watch him anticipate, come in. Good support as your center iceman to help out your defenseman down deep. Burrows was taken out by Schmid, and just wonderful backup support from the kid.
Telling us he moved into an apartment with a little kitchenette in it this week and went shopping the other day for the first time. We asked him what he got. He got some water and some chips. That's about it.
If he keeps going like this, they're going to tell him to get a place in between periods tonight.
Here come the Oilers. Belanger chipping and chasing as his line mates head for a change. Higgins at center ice for Vancouver. Across to Cody Hodgson, dishing it now back to Higgins on the return pass from Samuelson. And we got a tripping call coming to the Oilers, and it's Theo Peckham being escorted to the penalty box.
Well, they can't do this if they have designs on holding this lead tonight, and that's load up this Canuck power play. Good hustle by Payarvi to come back and break up the initial play, and looked like Hodgson skated into them, got the worst of it because he went down. Peckham goes off. Stepped into him. You know, you're entitled to your ice. And
so the Canucks on the power play for the second time, 1-for-1 tonight on the Sammy Salo goal. Down low, it's Daniel Sedin chipping it in front for Henrik. Let's get the puck past Gilbert in tight. And Ryan Smith will get it down the ice.
They were awfully close to going down man earlier when Jones tried to flip that one out of his own zone. I think it just tipped the top of the glass.
Yeah. Samuelson playing the right point on his power play to Henrik. Gloved by Dubnyk. Schmid gets it to the corner. Now Gilbert flipping it to center. Here's a 2-on-2 shorthanded opportunity. Ryan Smith has it poked away by Samuelson, the forward playing defense, who loses his stick in the process.
What a play. Edler was the defenseman caught up ice.
Daniel slaloming his way right into the deep slot and then caught on the back check. Salo pinching, gets a stick from Ryan Smith in the face, and Smith's going to the box.
Trying to say that it was in a shooting motion as he was trying to hack that.
Second penalty of the game.
There it was. He tried to knife it through. He just rode right up the stick. Watch his ride up the stick and an eye picker. Didn't turn out very well early in the game when Smith was in the bin.
He said it was a shooting motion.
Right, exactly. That was his argument.
So
I'm sorry, but if you're in the act of shooting, but it was more of a chop, and they must have felt like both sticks were arriving there at the same time.
Salo still out there, no worse for wear on a 5-on-3 situation here. With Peckham and Smith now in the box for Edmonton. Daniel Sedin trading places with Salo, goes down to Henrik at the circle, back to Salo, to Henrik, puck popping on his stick. He's right on the dot. Off the stick of Horkoff to Daniel, who saves the play. Salo back to Daniel Sedin. Down low, Samuelson waiting, tries to go across, blocked. Good leg blocked there by Schmid. Now Henrik to Salo with a bomb. Off the stick of Horkoff and out of play, and Horkoff goes down testing that stick. It breaks under his weight.
Good work by Schmid and Horkoff. Schmid taking away that cross crease pass in front, and then when you better stay in the lane and be willing to absorb a bruise from a shot. Good work down close to the net, and then there's that was like a late 80s penalty kill block where it's just the shaft of the stick.
Still 5-on-3 for 35 more seconds as Daniel Sedin moves into the high slot to Henrik at the circle. Henrik looking for Daniel. Again, a stick in the lane. This time the young Swede, Anton Lander, breaking that up. Samuelson into the high slot, dropping it for Daniel Sedin. Salo to Daniel. Daniel at the circle. Down low, Henrik holding onto it in front of Tom Gilbert. Henrik to his brother Daniel. Trading places with Salo to Henrik. Salo, the one-time bomb, tipped. Out of the net is Dubnyk. A bouncing puck, and Henrik Sedin scores on the rebound. Dubnyk hammering the net in frustration.
Well, it was like one of those nightmare goals that's going in slow motion. And just like Nugent Hopkins earlier in the period, saved one in the crease. This time it's the timing of Henrik Sedin to come in and chop this one just over the line. And I mean barely. They're going to have a look at this. Any part of that puck still on the line. Quite a fight for big Dubnyk with Burroughs in front. Just to fight that off with his shoulder.
It hit Gilbert in the shoulder, bounced like a tennis ball, and over.
I think it got all the way in. They don't have that indication line painted into the nets yet. It's coming to where they can figure out in Toronto when they review this and go over the ballistics whether it did in fact travel all the way over the red goal line. Interesting set for the Oilers, killing penalties with two forwards in a 5-on-3, two forwards and one defenseman.
Right.
A lot of teams will go with the two defensemen and one forward up top. They got outmanned around the net on an ugly, ugly goal that the Canucks think is gorgeous if it counts and has this game knotted back up. Another peek at it from in behind big Dubnyk. He ended up flat. I think I saw White in between the puck. There you go. Between the puck and the red goal line.
Nevertheless, the play is under review as Dean Morton goes under the headset at the timer's bench, but this should be swift.
Well, the young Oilers will be kicking themselves, though. You know, good first period. They gain a late lead and then come out and get themselves in penalty trouble here. It's a pretty good, hungry little hack at it. This is hack, whack, and bludgeon all together in order to get this over the line.
Dubnyk nearly got his crapper on it. Couldn't scoop it up.
And had help. Lander, the youngster, almost got there in time, but was blocked up by his own goaltender's foot.
So here's Dean Morton with the call. So it's Henrik Sedin with his second of the season on the power play, the second power play goal in as many chances for Vancouver tonight. Salo with the assist. He had the first power play goal of the evening for Vancouver. And we're all tied at 2 here in the second period. Cody Hodgson dumping it in. Potter is there first for Edmonton. Up the right boards. Jordan Eberle steaming up. The kid line back on the ice for Edmonton. Taylor Hall gets there to Eberle, and a good save by Luongo. Eberle again on the loose puck, dropping it behind the net. Hall back to Eberle. They just keep it going with a string on that puck. Back to the point. Long shot. Doesn't get just on the pad there of Luongo to the short side. Eberle, rebound right in front, and Nugent Hopkins was all tied up as Hamhuis went down.
Good work in front of Luongo that time defensively by Bieksa. It was earlier when they were a little vacant. He had to come up with that stunning stop on Eberle.
Nugent Hopkins chipping it off the glass in deep again. Hamhuis around the near boards. It's kept in. No, it's not. It gets out past Parker. And up comes Dale Weiss. He's got Volpatti dropping it to Lapierre. Lapierre can't get the shot through. Tied up by Barker. At the point, Salo settles the puck. D to D. Alberts fires. It pops out of the glove of Dubnyk. Then he holds on. Lander going hard on the check there, taking Weiss over top of his netminder.
That quick puck movement again, and that has been the hallmark of this kid line tonight. They scored the power play goal that way. The quick rotation from in behind the net. Eberle with the sharp angle one, trying to generate, I think, a rebound more than anything else out the other side. They're bright. They anticipate well. And Tom Reddy had him right out there after giving up the power play goal. A lot of time killing penalties. They gave him pace, spent time, had 2 good cracks at Roberto Luongo.
Eberle with his second and third assists of the season here tonight on the Nugent Hopkins goals. Lapierre got the draw. Peckham can't get it past Salo. Back in deep it comes. Bayarvi off the boards. Patty has broken his stick. He's without a stick now. Can't take the pass from Alberts, but manages to get it by Barker again on the near point.
Well, this one's shaping up like the kid line against the Canuck power play tonight.
Sure is. Peckham waiting to start this. A long pass cut off by Marco Sturm. Hansen got out, clears the zone, gets the pass from Sturm, fires, tipped by Malhotra right on.
Well, they were late to get to that. Good net drive by Manny Malhotra, but it wasn't recognized very early by the Oilers defenders.
Back inside the zone. We got an offside call with 13:39 to go. All tied at 2 here at Rexall Place in Edmonton.
Chuck will not return tonight. He's got a right knee injury, and it happened in his first and only 5 seconds on the ice. And Ali Shemsky, who had an MRI on his sore shoulder this morning, was examined by doctors during the first period. There won't likely be any official word on his status until after the game. The good news is the line shuffling that's seen Nugent Hopkins go with Hall and Eberle is working out just fine, as that line had 5 points in the first period and 1 big save early in the second. Mark?
Conversely, the Canucks really are suffering a power outage when the Sedins aren't on the ice.
Well, and especially at even strength. They have a half a dozen shots at even strength in this game as we approach the midway point. No problem with the power play, but they got to get more. And they really miss Ryan Kessler and that pace and all the things that he provides.
There's a turnover for Ryan Jones in, and a big save by Luongo. Edler was trying to harass him as he went in. Back in the zone cleanly. Horkoff to Ryan Smith off the blocker of Luongo. Edler on Smith in the corner. Forces a turnover, and Henrik Sedin will flip it high into the neutral zone. Higgins and Hansen are the only other forwards who have a shot on goal among the forwards besides the Sedin line. Ballard.
It's looked like it at times. They've had opportunities where they've had the Oilers a little ragged in their own zone, but it just hasn't materialized. And that speed of the Edmonton Oilers at the other end at times has really given them fits with their defensive coverage.
Oilers trying to open it up with some long passes here. Along the boards, Omar battling with Higgins. It comes free to Edler. Flipping it off the glass, pinching to keep it in is Andy Sutton. In behind the net, look at Omar get in front of him. He's come up with the puck, still on the puck, in front, right through the slot. Here's a shot by Potter, a big blast, deflected to the corner, in front again. Payarvi looked like he tried to pass it to Omar, too fancy, and it tipped high and over the glass.
Boy, good shift by this line, buzzing. And Roberto Luongo with a couple of alert saves. He lost that last one from the point, but they had the Canucks spinning in their defensive zone coverage and got beat on one-on-one battles on pucks. There's that little nifty chance for Jones. Tough for him to get it into a shooting position. He's on his backhand, but hitting the Canuck blue line with a lot of tempo and a lot of speed at times in this game.
Jones coming off that career year with 18 goals last year. He moved up the lineup. There's a shot that nearly fooled Luongo. Peckham with a seeing eye signal right on.
You have a face-off between the almost unbeatable Manny Malhotra and young Nugent Hopkins. Off the draw, they again win the loss sort. You see Hopkins reach around Malhotra, get it back to that point, and I don't think Luongo picked it up until it was about 3/4 to his net.
This time they get it again at the point. Blast from Barker is high into the glass. Hall chipping it to the near side. Matthews manhandling Nugent Hopkins, but the Oilers keep it in deep. Everly got it to the corner, and Barker was all tied up there with Malhotra as the Canucks head up ice. Lapierre with Bieksa going to the net. Pass to Hansen, and he misses wide. He comes all the way back up ice. In transition at full speed is Everly with Nugent Hopkins. Everly around Alberts. Everly in front, right through the crease, and Alberts takes the net off. So the face-off will be in the Vancouver zone.
Up and down they go. See the foot speed of Taylor Hall to get back. I mean, he went giddy up to put some heat on the back end. That's him, number 4, right in front of the net. That's how number 4 used to look here in Edmonton back in the day. Defending, skating backwards, and then they take it the other direction. They're a fun group of young kids, pretty brazen. They're building something here in Edmonton with this crew.
They sure hope Taylor Hall is the second coming of Mark Messier, don't they? The way he rushes headlong with that powerful stride up the ice.
It's almost like a combination of him and Anderson, because he likes to take it to the net once he gets in there. There've been a lot of guys willing to take it to the rack here tonight.
Payarvi picks up the bouncing puck, tries the wraparound, paddle down Luongo. Lapierre up ice with Dale Weiss. A soft chip. Petrel is there, but turns it over to Volpatti. Comes right back to Petrel. The Grinders hacking away at it. Volpatti with control of it. Back to Salo. Salo throwing it wide of the Oiler net. Alberts keeps it in on the pinch. Salo all the way into the corner now. Taking Payarvi off the puck. Volpatti picking it up. Losing control in front of Payarvi. And the sophomore will steady the puck, play it back in deep. Corey Potter to Andy Sutton.
Boy, a good shift by the Canuck fourth line. Exactly what Alain Vigneault wanted out of him. Get it in deep, grind them down a little bit, give a respite to the rest of them. See if they can gain some momentum off of this.
Schmid back to Tom Gilbert. Tipping it off the stick to Ryan Smith. Smith gets it in behind the net. There's Salo to an open wing. At center, Daniel ahead to Burrows through his skates. He manages to get the puck and flip it back in the zone. Backing up with Schmid with a pass right in front of his netminder. Gilbert back to Schmid. The Canucks get a change now, and the Oilers come out of their zone. Horkoff across the line, dumping it. Hodgson back in deep at center to help out. Smith taking the puck away from him. Smith now grinding along the boards with Edler. Gets it back to the point. Barker in deep again. Ryan Smith doing all that spade work. It comes free, then it's overskated by Ryan Jones, and Hodgson will get it off the glass, but not out. It's banged back in by Theo Peckham. Oilers using this opportunity to get a change.
Well, real good shift by that line. You've seen the Horkoff line straight up against Henrik Sedin in this one, and they got overextended a little bit.
Back at center, a turnover to Taylor Hall. In the zone, Hall now fires. Big rebound, cleared away by Hodgson. He's got to be tired. Everly back to the point. Barker winds and fires. Hall in the crease, begging with Ballard. In behind the net, Everly gets it to the corner. Nugent Hopkins to the point. Theo Peckham again. Hall causing all kinds of problems in front. There's another deflection on the shot by Nugent Hopkins. Everly finally pushed off the puck as the Canucks Edler gets it out, but a penalty coming to Samuelson, and the Oilers going on the power play as we join Scott.
Mark, Oiler coach Tom Rennie lost a good friend to leukemia this summer. Doug Digger Davis is survived by his wife Carmen, children Jordan and Laura. Tom's wearing a tie tonight of Doug's that Carmen sent him for good luck. Thoughts and prayers from all of us to the Davis family.
Box for tripping. That's the 24th Canuck penalty taken in what, 4.5 games?
Yeah, there, you know, some sloppiness in that area of their game as well. Here's the latest. As Theo Peckham was trying to keep a puck up at center ice, Samuelson in the box, and it's been productive on the power plays for both teams here tonight.
Oilers 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. Vancouver was 2 for 2. And Smith gets the draw. Gilbert back down low. Smith trying to chop it to Omar. And the exit bulldozes his way right by him and gets it out. At center, Lapierre kicking it ahead. The RB back to take it back. Then Lapierre takes it right back from him. And gets a stick handling chance right on Dubnyk, who holds the fort. Great effort there by Lapierre. Smith in the corner. Back along the boards. Higgins intercepts it. Headbands to Lapierre. He'll flip it in the zone and go right to the bench for a change. Harvey overskates the puck with Higgins on him. Tom Gilbert trying to get this power play organized. Now he'll head up ice. Long stretch pass to center. Ryan Smith leaving it for Parker to the far side. Harvey off the backboards. Malhotra there kicking it to Sammy Salo in the far corner. He'll get it off the glass, bouncing it just out by Gilbert, and Malhotra pounces on the puck one-on-one with Barker, and his wrist shot is high into the glass. Oilers get it to center, but the Canucks controlling the puck here on this penalty kill. Burrows takes a shot from Gilbert, gets it into the circle. Now Taylor Hall on the ice with Eberle. Hall going wide. Ballard with the hip check, got a piece of him. Now back behind the net. Puck goes free to Nugent Hopkins. Horkoff to Nugent Hopkins down low. Good tip there by Edler. But Eberle with 2 assists already tonight gets it behind the net. Hall out. Stick check there. Ballard fencing for the puck. Can't get it out. Hall throws it around to the near side. Pinching is Potter to the half board. Nugent Hopkins gets it back to the corner. Eberle turning away from the pressure but goes down. Nugent Hopkins gets it to the point. Potter to Horkoff, who fans. The penalty is over. Samuelson was all by himself in the neutral zone. The Canucks couldn't get it to him. Now here's a chance for Nugent Hopkins. Rebound Eberle. Great stop by Luongo with a pad down. Nugent Hopkins so dangerous. This line has 2 goals, 3 assists, and 7 scoring chances. Make it 8 now.
And he was a smidge away from the hat trick here tonight. The Oilers got running all at one area. Or pardon me, the Canucks did all at one area near the left point and exposed themselves.
Peckham to center ice. Daniel Sedin chops it back in the zone to Samuelson. Looking for Daniel. Good check there by Schmid, and it pops into the glove of Devin Dubnyk.
It was a very active, almost equal opportunity power play. Here's the last chance. Again, they've been so quick, these kids, to rotate it from deep in the zone to a scoring area. That was more about Hall leaping past Ballard. Second hip check from Ballard here tonight. KRV was a good hustle to get back defensively, but then gifted it right back again. I'm not sure whether he understood that Lapierre was on his neck or not. Good save by Dubnyk early in that power play.
Shots 23-14 in favor of the Oilers in this hockey game. There's a turnover. Hodgson plays it back. Hamhuis at the circle. Looking for a deflection. Went over the stick of Hansen. He's back on the puck. Loses it on the passing attempt. Good lifting of the stick by Hodgson to keep it in play. Higgins trying to dig it up. Now Petrel. Off the skate of Hansen. Right back into the slot. Barker gets it to Leonard Petrel. Flipping it to center ice. The exit. Throwing it deep into the zone. Barker back first. Icing waved off. Touched in the crease as the puck went right through. Here comes Linus Omar. Omar with some fancy magician-like work and gets a shot off the pad of Luongo. Peckham back in his zone. Volpatti shadowing him. Weiss trying to come up with the puck. It squirts free. Belanger doesn't get there in time. Shot off the side of the goal by Lapierre. Gilbert in trouble behind his net. Lapierre hunting him down. Gilbert along the boards. Gets it to Omar. He'll flip it high to center ice. Bumped by Salo. Right back up. Dale Weiss tips it in. Takes a hit from Peckham. And they have some words afterwards. Daniel Sedin being tied up by Omar. Omar so strong on the puck for a small man. Holding off both Sedins in behind his net as Gilbert comes in to help out, and the Oilers come up with the puck.
Gilbert was really giving the stick to Henrik Sedin in behind the net. The Oilers have become feistier in their defending as this game's moved along, and it's frustrating the Canucks, I think, at times.
Stretch pass over the stick of Burrows. He's got control of it in the Edmonton zone, and he's knocked down unceremoniously as Andy Sutton, a big man, sent him to the ice. And getting a rise out of the fans here at Rexall Place. Edmonton and Vancouver in a 2-2 tie in a barn burner here.
By Dubnyk, but they've held them to just 14 shots so far tonight.
Here's that weird play on the icing that I think a lot of guys on the ice thought was going to be icing, but the linesman felt it hit Dubnyk's pad to negate it, and then there was the long liberation pass by Barker to spring that juicy chance at the other end. We've had a spasm of pretty good scoring chances here late in the second period.
Omar can be dizzying with his technique. Ballard feeding Edler, who goes into the zone. Tied up. The kids get it out. Down goes Hall again, and he's drawn a penalty. Taylor Hall will draw a tripping call to Jannik Hansen, who protests on his way to the penalty box. And penalties continue to be an issue for the Canucks in the early going.
Are they ever? This is another one right at center ice. They've taken penalties 180 feet away from their net. You know, that foot speed, watch the leg. A little, yeah, he trailed the leg. No question, that's a dangerous play, too. And the referees nailed him in neutral ice.
The tripping call to Hansen. Edmonton 1 for 4 on the power play with a total of 4 shots and 1 power play goal by Nugent Hopkins. Horkoff gets the draw and the puck on that weird bounce. Horkoff in the corner with it. The back door is Nugent Hopkins. There's Horkoff with a one-timer and a blocker save by Luongo. Eberle at the left point. Potter at the right point as Jordan Eberle steams into the zone. Left at the point to Potter. Off the boards to the half wall. Nugent Hopkins down low. Hall in front, jamming away. Loose puck. Nugent Hopkins. Hall hammers it. They score. This kid line just keeps on coming. Hall with the spade out, digging away. And it's 3-2 Edmonton. Their second power play goal of the game.
This is an all-out ambush, though, by the forwards who just overwhelmed the 2 defensemen, Hamhuis and Bieksa, and the goaltender Luongo. Once they bring it to the net, watch this. 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys in tight. The Canucks can't keep it out. The puck falls right, and it's the whack at the goal line in behind that gets it over. We've seen a couple of these tonight. It was heading in. Make sure it's in. Entomb it in the back of the net. A costly penalty to Hansen. And an Oiler lead again.
We wondered if Taylor Hall might pass the puck to Nugent Hopkins the rest of this game, with Nugent Hopkins getting all the glory. And boy, he worked hard with that greasy digging effort in the crease. They're giving the goal to Ryan Nugent Hopkins. They're saying that Hall touched it after it crossed the goal line. So it's his first National Hockey League hat trick. That's just been announced here in the building. So it is a Nugent Hopkins goal. But we'll have to wait, have another look at it. Fans are delirious. And they're throwing hats on the ice during the play.
Wow.
They're all over the ice back in the Canucks zone, and now a few in the Edmonton zone. And Henrik Sedin is frustrated.
If I was the Canucks, I'd get on the officials maybe about a minor penalty with this.
So they have awarded Nugent Hopkins this goal. We think it's Hall. Let's have another look.
Well, he's getting lots of congratulations from his teammates. Another peek at it. The original stuff and whack.
Goodlay was all over from that angle.
That's his shot there that's heading over the goal line, and then
I don't know.
Everybody whiffed.
You can see Luongo's stick kind of prevents your vision right there from seeing if it's fully over. And then you see Hall knocking it across. So it does look like Hall finished it off here.
We've needed the forensics twice tonight.
Really hard to see there.
Well, that's why they're going to go to that thinner netting on top of the net to help everybody. The video room in Toronto, us in the booth to figure out exactly what went on. The fans here certainly think it was his goal as they showered the ice with chapeaus.
Look at this. Everly's laughing as Hall says, I think I got that, didn't I? And Nugent Hopkins not saying anything.
Yeah, he's oblivious to this. He's like, I just scored a National Hockey League hat trick. Yeah. They have been dynamic tonight, those three. They're back at it again.
With a little smile on his face now. Hall saying, I got that. It wasn't across the line.
They're like, this kid might stay here.
And as the ranking sophomores, of course, Ryan Nugent Hopkins can't beg to differ Everly and Hall.
Will result in a minor penalty to the Edmonton Oilers hockey team. Please.
It hit Hall's stick.
Yeah, it did.
Right there.
Or Luongo's, it's hard to tell.
Tough from the overhead.
Boy. Another hat has been thrown on the ice, and the fans have been warned the next time they do it, there's going to be a 2-minute penalty.
And the Canucks are going nuts.
The Canucks are saying, well, there's a hat.
They have a case.
Alberts flipping it in the zone. Henrik Sedin was whacking at the back of the Oiler net when he had possession of the puck in what he thought was a good scoring opportunity when they had to blow it down with all those hats on the ice.
It happened on Hockey Night, presented by McDonald's. Vote for your favorite moments online and relive them every Saturday night.
Well, it's been quite a night here in Edmonton. Right now, it's Ryan Nugent Hopkins with his first NHL hat trick, although our evidence seems to suggest it went off the shaft of Taylor Hall's stick before he took a whack at it at the goal line. Along the boards, Belanger to the far corner. The RV fans on it, takes a hit from Edler, now gets it to Omark behind the net. Omark hard on the puck. Back to Potter, fakes the shot. Potter can't get anything through Higgins as he throws it along the boards, and then Higgins chops it to center. A race for it. Samuelson tipping it into the zone. Still on the puck. Being pestered along the boards as Sutton works him over. Comes through to Cody Hodgson. Now to Bieksa. His shot is blocked by Potter, who's having a great night here on defense for Edmonton. Valpatti harder than forecheck. Belanger helping him out. Digs it free to Omark, who gets it off the boards and down the ice.
That was a nice exit by the Oilers that time to get through the pressure. You're right, Sutton and Potter, two big boys, have been able to handle a lot of that heat from the Vancouver Canucks, and I think that's the other story tonight. The Canucks are stuck on 15 shots as the second period winds down.
Well, Patty throws it in the corner, takes a shot from Barker. In front, pass from Lapierre off the stick of Volpatti, who had it chopped in half. He looked at the official. Eberle sidestepping a hit there from Weiss, and now Peckham takes umbrage with that, and they square off. Dale Weiss and Theo Peckham. His tempers flare here with 1:02 to go in this wild second period. Peckham gets a left free, pops the helmet off of Dale Weiss as they grapple along the boards, and the linesman will step in to break it up.
That was an angry one. Pat on the back from both sides, tap on the boards from both teams.
Seemed to start after Weiss and Eberle collided. They'll head to their locker rooms with 1:02 to go. We'll remind you, Tuesday night, the comedy lineup kicks off with Rick Mercer Report and 22 minutes, followed by Michael Tuesdays and Thursdays and the Debaters. It all starts at 8 on CBC.
You can feel the frustration setting in with the Vancouver Canucks. They've had a tough time getting their game going, getting any traction in this game tonight. They feel like they've had a couple calls that haven't been made. Volpatti had his stick broken in front of the net, and then this hit, a grazing blow on Eberle, who got clocked by Edler back in the first period. And then in came Theo Peckham, who was their penalty minute leader last year. Right inside the blue line to engage.
Weiss expected it. I mean, he took a run at Eberle, and then he manned up with Peckham. They both have 5 each for fighting. But you saw Henrik talking to the official. I think the Canucks are upset because there was a warning issued that the next hat on the ice would result in a penalty.
Well, you had that, and then you had the sawed-off stick in front of the net right after that.
Marco Sturm in the corner, a bounce pass to Albert. His shot is 6 feet wide. Salo turning away from pressure from Payarby, gets it back in deep. Tom Gilbert backhanding it high and bouncing it deep into the Canucks zone. The final 30 seconds of this period. Hansen chops it ahead. Malhotra to Marco Sturm. Sturm, shot, pad save on that low shot with 23.9 seconds to go here in the second.
Well, Devin Dubnyk has not been overworked in this one here tonight, but he has been solid when called upon. You think of that save he made on Lapierre on the shorthanded breakaway. Calm. He exudes a calmness in net. Big guy now in his mid-20s, and I think it feeds to this young Oiler team in front of him.
Well, he really earned a lot of this. Oh, there's a wrapper on it, a tip in front. Daniel Sedin. And Burrows may have got a stick on that as this line comes to life in the dying seconds.
We had some veteran guys out here for the Edmonton Oilers to try to hold this thing with a face-off in their own zone. Porkhoff ended up being the closest guy at the front of the net. They lose the battle in behind. The Sedins are so good at rotating pucks like this. In behind, a little spin, Burrows in front. Porkhoff on the back end of him. Does it deflect off him in front? I think it did. He finally gets rewarded. And that's why he's such a good fit with the Sedins, because he sort of completes them with his game, the ability to use his quickness and go to the net.
Burrows with his second of the season to tie it at 3.
And is that a big goal? You know, you think of a harmless shot that Dubnyk is forced to make the save on, and it turns into a tie game.
3-3. Burrows with his second of the season from Daniel and Henrik Sedin, even though the Oilers owned that period, out shooting Vancouver 14-9. Scott?
Mark, the Oiler kid line getting the better of the Canucks, who've been hard-pressed to mount an attack through the first 40 minutes. We'll talk to Kevin Bieksa about that when we come back to Rexall Place on Hockey Night in Canada.
A 3-3 hockey game to start the third period here at Rexall Place in Edmonton. And right now, after reviewing that third Edmonton goal, officials are still saying it's a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins hat trick. His first in the NHL in his third game. Still some video evidence that we've looked at that looks like it was finished off by Taylor Hall. And it's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins ahead to Hall, steaming across the Vancouver line. Sutton settles the puck into the corner, throws it on goal, and Luongo will hold on with Eberle camped in the crease. Let's have another look at that third Edmonton goal.
Well, this is a very good case for why the NHL in their R&D went to a different netting on top of the net, because it does get a little bit obscured by that, but it looked like it might have connected with Hall's stick once and then was still touching part of the goal line when he shoved it over the line. And from that evidence,
could have touched there and then finished it off there.
Yeah, it looks like it could be Hall's goal, but right now, allegedly, Nugent-Hopkins has a hat trick.
Sutton, a high shot that hits Luongo on the head. Or was it Omar?
It hit both of them.
He's down and in some difficulty holding his face.
It went off his face and then off Luongo's mask. Well, a triple deflection, if you will. It went off a stick near the point. Watch it carry him off the stick there.
There, yeah.
Go off the head of Omark in front, and then off the forehead or glabella of Roberto Luongo. Talk about a magic puck. Wow.
He just got his face turned in time. Omark heading back to the Edmonton bench. Hard to tell whether he was cut.
Hodgson was the original deflector, and then it, talk about a meandering path to the net.
So Omark getting some attention on the Edmonton bench as the game continues. Hamhuis backhands it to the point. It gets by Gilbert. Burrows giving chase with Schmid, and Dubnyk will throw it to the corner. Comes right back from Gilbert to Burrows. A backhand pass in front. Henrik Sedin had a chance, couldn't get his stick free. And this period starts the way the second period ended, with a chance for the Sedin line.
And that's been the matchup throughout the game, too, with Horcoff straight up against them. You know, they were forced to take a face-off in their own zone with 16 seconds or so left in that second period. Lost it. He hasn't lost many tonight, and the Sedins made him pay. Burrows right in front. Tie game.
Omark back on the ice, so he's good to go for Edmonton. Dubnyk has to go the other way with Hodgson on the forecheck. Corey Potter. Cross ice. Cam Parker up the middle, splitting the defenses. Belanger, but he has it chopped away. Alberts and Salo shutting the door. This one gloved by Alberts. He keeps it out of the zone. Ahead to Hodgson, off the glass and back in. 4 power plays in this hockey game tonight. 2 for Vancouver, 2 for Edmonton. It's chipped in the zone by Petrel. Lander gets there ahead of Alberts. Leaves it for Hall back on the ice with these fourth liners. Hall to the point. Gilbert through traffic wide of the Vancouver net. Sutton pinching in behind the net for Lander. Lander away from Alberts, goes down on the check from Salo. Alpati gets it ahead. Lapierre can't get it by Gilbert. Alberts back behind his net again. Away from Hall, who hooks him down. No call on the play. Alberts looking at the official. Bouncing puck. Patty now leaves it for Lapierre. Lapierre fires, blocked by Tom Gilbert out high. And Gilbert runs the centerman into the boards. Canucks trying to get a change here. Jones flipping it. Eberle offside as Nugent Hopkins brings it in over the line. Time now for the Hockey Night Close-Up, brought to you by Subway Restaurant. Featuring guess who?
Yeah, Ryan Nugent Hopkins came in talking about his failings in his first 2 games on the face-off dots. Been pretty good in that regard tonight. He's been excellent offensively. 2 goals for sure, 3 maybe, and a great defensive play in this one.
Responsible in his own end and a lethal weapon in the attacking zone. A rush for it. Icing waved off as Malhotra got there ahead of Barker. And a reminder, Ryan Nugent Hopkins will be our guest on After Hours with Scott and Darryl. Jones flipping it up in behind Eberle. He plays it off the boards. Can't get around Ballard. Edwards up the left wing. Malhotra steadies the puck. Saucer pass in behind Sturm. It comes to Hodgson in clean. And a shot right into the trapper of Devin Dubnyk.
Cody Hodgson, who's actually played better and better, it seems like, as the games have wore on here in the early season for the Vancouver Canucks, getting a great opportunity with Ryan Kessler still on the shelf. Good in those slick, short bursts. He's healthy again. He's in terrific shape. Confidence is starting to build. I think those playoffs for him in the spring were like a growth hormone as well.
Feeling more and more a part of this team. In fact, on the road trip in Columbus, Manny Malhotra took him out to one of the malls and got him dressed like an NHLer, he said. I guess they said he looked like a grade 9 kid running shoes and didn't have the appropriate attire to be in the NHL.
Other things to concern themselves with at that age. Just trying to make the hockey club and contribute. There is an image to uphold at this level, though.
Horkoff gets the draw on Henrik Sedin, kept in by Bieksa. Horkoff has to come back in deep in his own zone. Again, it goes off the stick of Burrows to Daniel to Henrik. Henrik throws it behind the Edmonton net. We'll try this side. Speed reaching for the puck. Comes to Smith, who shovels it to Tom Gilbert, trying to get away from the pursuit of Henrik Sedin. Horkoff takes the pass, goes up the left wing. Smith picks it up off the board, beats the check by Bieksa, and gets it deep. Hamhuis in behind the net. Off the boards to Bieksa. Ahead to Daniel Sedin and back to center ice. Corey Potter to center. That broken up. Here comes Chris Higgins with a burst of speed. Higgins alone. Shot blocked by Potter. Steered aside by Dubnyk. Off the glass and out it goes. Samuelson giving chase. Eric Belanger on him. To Albert. Salo picks up the loose puck in his own end. Off the glass by the glove of Andy Sutton down the ice. Another race for his icing call. Potter's there ahead of Chris Higgins. Monday night, hockey's the word when George chats with special guest NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman. That's Monday night on CBC. Gorgeous, clear night here in Edmonton.
Fans have been into it. Maybe a little too much on the hat-trick goal for Nugent Hopkins. I've never seen that before when hats fly during play.
Littered the ice with their hats, got the warning. Another one came on the ice, but no penalty. Bayarby firing it back in the zone. Omar giving chase on Higgins. Higgins wins that battle temporarily as they do a sword fight for it. Alberts gets it behind the net for Salo around the boards, kept in by a pinching Andy Sutton. Hodgson using his body to shield the puck. Head to center. Alberts will chip it. Vancouver will get a change. And Sutton sets up behind his own net. Ryan Nugent Hopkins with his debatable first ever NHL hat trick on the ice again, along with Eberle and Hall. This line has been so tremendous offensively tonight. 7 points. 13 shots coming into this third period. 17 in total for Vancouver. This line had 13 on its own. A bounce pass from Hall to Eberle, but Eberle is in offside. But this team stocked with hockey prodigies and veterans from the past.
Yeah, their draft that is now run by Stu McGregor. Over the years, they've been able to stockpile some talent, picking high. You look at the 30-year-olds, Horkoff, who was taken in the 4th round, Ryan Smith, who was 6th overall way back in '94 out of Moose Jaw. And the young top-end talent they've been able to add the last couple of years. Now they'd like to try to climb the ladder a little bit with their ability to win, not just pick high.
Yeah, and Ryan Smith now playing the role of mentor. These young kids. Who was he saying was his mentor back in the 90s? Was it Kelly Buckberger?
Kelly Buckberger.
Yeah. Nugent Hopkins on the loose puck. Up the right side to Hall. Gets it past Edler in deep. Eberle on the forecheck. Ballard gets it to Dale Weiss. Back on the ice after that fighting major with Peckham. In the corner, Ballard pins Hall and holds him there as Edler comes out of his zone and gets it deep. In the corner, Lander takes Weiss out of the play. Pass by Gilbert was off the skate of Petro. Now Lander at center. Caught on the back check. Patty on him. Scrappy hockey as Lapierre fires it back in the zone.
The game has turned territorial now. The Oilers have actually been very good at this, transitioning out of their own zone. It's just get it deep, try to force the other team to play in their own zone, make mistakes near their own net.
Bieksa flipping it to center. Gloved by Ryan Smith. He can't get his stick on it. The Sedin twins get it inside the zone. Bounces right to Burrows. Burrows shot. Pad save. It comes to Daniel Sedin. Round the net into the corner. Back to the point with it. Bieksa throws it right back in deep. Potter fighting for the puck. Gets it free. Good outlet to Horkoff, who hits Petro with the pass. But this 4th line is in tough here. Here's Burrows cutting to the high slot. A shot! Big fat rebound from Dubnyk. Cleared away by Andy Sutton.
Well, it just takes one little hiccup. One guy turning toward a change, and the Sedins turn it into a scoring chance.
Central will get it out and finally get a change. But back comes Vancouver in the transition. Salo hammers it right on goal. Peckham on the near side hits Chris Higgins with the stick in the lane. Here comes Samuelson now. Shot right on and scores! Salo throws it at the net. Barker lost his stick and couldn't clear the man in front.
Well, this is all about secondary scoring and the ability to generate something off the forecheck. This is hunt and hustle. Get in after them on the forecheck, turn a puck over. Great work by Higgins to not only break it up, but set it up. Then they go to work. How this got through Big Dubnyk. Didn't see it early, and I think it went right under his arm. Quite a night for Sammy Salo, too.
What a wrist shot. Salo with his second of the night. Barker had lost his stick, couldn't do anything in front to clear the front of the net for Dubnyk. And now the Canucks have taken the lead.
Well, that's exactly what they were thirsting for. And it started right after a good shift by the Sedins. They get some secondary scoring.
Here's Belanger back up ice. He fires it right into the glove of Luongo, who makes the save. But Sammy Salo with his second of the season and of the night from Samuelson, and Vancouver is back in front.
About this between periods, that's the gnashing of teeth over the Canucks' 1-2-1 start, but really what's new, it's exactly how they began last season before going 3-3-2 in October. In the 4 years previous, they were below 500 in October every year, but in 4 of those 5 years they had 100-point seasons. This isn't to say the Canucks give less than their all in October, but they do seem to get better as the games get bigger, Mark.
Yes, 4 100-plus point seasons in those 5 slow start years. And it makes sense for these young undermatched teams like Edmonton to make hay in the early going.
Build some confidence and some momentum. It was a clean face-off win by Manny Malhotra in his own zone. They went with that long lead pass to try to spring Hansen, but a hand pass that looked like in neutral ice.
There was a couple of years ago when Colorado had that great start and built up all those points and then held on for dear life to make the playoffs.
They had great young forwards, a lot of speed in their game, and terrific goaltending from Anderson.
So the Oilers down by 1 on this emotional night here, with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins being credited with his first NHL hat trick. Hall enters the zone. Loose puck to Eberle. I'm going to call this offside. They've added an assist to Chris Higgins on that second Salo goal.
I would hope so. He made it happen.
Exactly.
Been pretty good in this game tonight. Higgins in particular has been a bright spot for the Canucks in the early season, with a couple of goals for him heading into this one here tonight. The other part of the equation for the Canucks always is getting their defense involved in their attack. And a pair of goals from Salo here tonight.
Weiss steams into the zone, throws it right through the goal mouth.
It was not played very well by Dubnyk.
Bayarby can't reach it. Hamhuis throws it back to center. Volpatti takes a shot there from Potter and goes down in a heap.
Potter's been impressive tonight.
Physical, big shot. Taking Jeff Petrie's spot on defense tonight for Edmonton. There's a turnover to Petrel. Feisty Finn over the line. Can't reach it. Lander reaching for it as well, and it's cleared back to center. Schmid, long pass to center. Gilbert ahead to Ryan Smith, who gets it deep. Back to help out is Burrows. Salo takes the pass, gets it off the boards, back to center. Schmid knocks it into the zone. Edmonton has to tag up. Henrik Sedin at center. Bouncing and chasing the puck now. Dubnyk puts it right on his stick. Henrik to Burrows. In the corner, has it knocked away and out of the zone by Sean Horcoff. Salo and Alberts back and forth. Alberts nearly turned that one over. Brian Smith using that paddle of a stick. Now Burrows to center. Gets in behind Daniel Sedin. Kept out of the zone by Alberts, and a high stick is called with 10:21 to go here in the third.
You have to think the Canucks went into that room with that momentum of getting the late second period goal with the attitude, hey, win a period, win a game, jump on a plane, go home. And they've acted like a club that has settled down a little bit as far as their defensive game is concerned, the first 2 periods, Luongo made a lot of big stops when they broke down. He really hasn't had too much here in the third.
The icing as Edler touches up. Big game for Luongo coming in after 2 losses in his previous 2 starts.
Well, they've given him some offensive support in this one, but he's come up with the, those key saves at the right time to just enliven a bench and hold you in a game. They were sloppy at times. The young Oilers have used their speed. That one line in particular, there's been a lot of attack in their game. You can feel it starting to sag a little bit here, though, midway through the third.
That late goal, the dying seconds by Burrows in the second period, really took the starch out of this crowd. Henrik Sedin at center, throwing it, bouncing puck into the corner. They'll get a change as Schmid fires it rink wide for Ryan Smith. His pass, bouncing puck at center, knocked into the zone by Ryan Jones. Horkoff hard on the forecheck, forces it free. Jones throws it right back to Horkoff. In front, at the point, Gilbert's blast is blocked by Chris Higgins.
Yeah, he'll give up the body. He's the type of player that helps you win on a nightly basis.
He's on the second line now. 2 assists here tonight. There's a turnover. Hudson in front. Higgins fans. Here's Hamhuis. A blast that is blocked up high by Eberle. In behind the net. Danielson whiffing at the puck. Higgins gets it right back behind the net again. Schmid. Challenged by Samuelsson. Can't get it out. Higgins along the boards. Samuelsson whacks it in deep, and Vancouver gets a change on the fly. Kids back on the ice for Edmonton. Potter, a bounce pass looking deep for Eberle. Too far for him. And icing is the call with 8:43 to go here in the third period.
And more heat put on the Oilers' ability to win a faceoff, or at least not lose it clean in their own zone. They can't change on the icing, so the kids are out here. And at least to start, Nugent Hopkins is going to have to man up against Henrik Sedin.
Sedin wins that draw easily to Daniels. Away from Hall in the corner. Potter got a stick on it to break that up. Back to Daniel, though. In behind the net. Tom Gilbert off the board. Hall pressed by Daniel Sedin. Throws it back to Gilbert. Oilers hemmed in momentarily. Now Potter headmans it over the stick of Taylor Hall in transition. He got free to Gilbert, who throws it the length of the ice, and Ballard will touch it up. Third successive icing call against Edmonton.
They're going to have to do it all over again, and now, the luxury of being able to throw some fresh guys out here for Alain Vigneault, and the kids forced to defend in their own zone again.
This is where the Oilers really miss the likes of Ryan Whitney. That great first pass, great leadership defensively.
Poise with the puck, you didn't see it there, and also, that outlet pass that gets you out of trouble. You saw Hall come way down low to try to help out on that one and make sure they got it out of their zone, and then it blew up in their face.
Hodgson beats Eberle on the draw. You're behind the net. Higgins again, great work ethic. Gets to the puck first, comes out, wrap around, paddle down save by Dubnyk. Hall heading back up ice. Nugent Hopkins on the right side, a long shot, weird bounce off the stick of Luongo, popping into the corner. The exit headmans to Samuelsson, rink wide. Hamhuis gains the line, dropping it, a long shot from Higgins, back to Hamhuis in the corner. Hansen beaten to the puck by Payarvi. Hauling it for center with some jump. Payarvi standing on the puck, turns it over. Malhotra, all by himself, is bottled up by Barker. Pekka hammers it off the glass. Bieksa can't handle the pass from Hamhuis. Payarvi pinching along the boards with Hansen. Malhotra digs it free. Payarvi takes it right back. He goes down. He comes free at the point. Potter with a high wrist shot that misses. Glove side. Luongo caught on the far post. Omar couldn't get around the net in time. Linus Omar feeds it back to Potter. That big right-handed shot. Great block. Down goes Sturm to block that shot from Potter. At the line, Barker knocks down the clearing attempt by Hansen. Back in the zone come the Oilers. Linus Omar throwing it high, gloved by Luongo. He'll get a face-off and a whistle as Bieksa and Ryan Smith have some words in behind the play. But Alex Burrows Done a lot of digging and a big goal late in that second period for Vancouver. 6:45 to go. A sense of urgency for the home team. The Oilers have sagged, Daryl, here in the third period. They've got just 2 shots on goal.
Yeah, they've gotten off their game a little bit. They're using their pressure game and their speed, obviously, and the Canucks have improved. Some of the Vancouver Canuck foot soldiers have been better. They've stayed out of the box. That's helped them.
From the point, Andy Sutton's shot bouncing just wide. Vancouver out shooting Edmonton 7-2 here in the third. The Oilers were outshot 15-1 in the third period their last game on the road in Minnesota. Their 17th consecutive loss in Minnesota.
This one just thrown up into the stands from neutral ice off the stick of Omar. They seem to get unnerved a little bit, maybe with that late second period goal, and haven't really gotten back to their game. And when you've got a mature team like the Canucks that are trying to get their game together, you know, you could feel this game devolve down into a game of territory and one-on-one battles, and the Canucks have ramped it up in that department.
Edmonton had a great second period in the circle, face-off circle, but as you mentioned, the territoriality advantage of the Canucks controlling the puck here in the third. Getting it deep, Daniel Sedin to Henrik, back to Daniel. Close confines, Daniel is crushed down on the check by Gilbert. And Edmonton gets possession. Ryan Jones bouncing it ahead for Ryan Smith. Hard on Edler. Gets the puck free. It comes out. Here's Tom Gilbert. Can't get the shot through. Blocked by Burrows, who pays a price there.
Yeah, you get the sense now it's anything to hold on to this lead in the Canuck minds. You got to lay down the body, lay down the body.
Daniel gets it out. Canucks will try to get a change as Smead leads the rush. The center. Will get it deep. Nugent Hopkins, Eberle, and Hall back on the ice, providing all the firepower here tonight for Edmonton. Canucks chipping and chasing. Samuelson there, gets a shot right on. A big rebound comes back to Samuelson. Then Cody Hodgson right at the goal mouth. Stopped again.
Really kind of an unnecessary rebound, though, and a pudgy one back out in front to repurpose it.
Pass into the skates of Hall, glancing behind Bieksa, and Luongo gets snowed as he covers up for a whistle. A 1-goal Canuck lead. 5:02 to go here in the hockey game.
Well, we generally find after hours works better when the guest arrives in good humor, and how can Ryan Nugent-Hopkins not be after his first NHL career hat trick tonight in just the third game of his career? By the way, Wayne Gretzky did not register an NHL hat trick until February 1st, 1980, his first season. So it's a long way for Nugent-Hopkins to go to even think of being in the company of Wayne Gretzky, but he's got him beat in one way already, Mark.
What a spectacular night as Barker gets the shot. Omark's rebound is stopped. Maybe Hamu's got in front of that one.
He did. The umpteenth block shot from a Canuck here in the third period.
Pot sits behind the net. It's cleared all the way around. Barker back to pick it up.
Boy, the value of having a guy like Belanger that can win a draw like that. Beat Lapierre clean.
Wonder why Malhotra didn't take that draw. He's won 76% of his faceoffs.
Gone straight up against the kid line here most of the third period.
Here's another turnover. Belanger forces it in behind the goal. At the point, Gilbert hammers it right on, and Luongo with a blocker save. Malhotra flipping it not out. Petrel jams it right back in the corner. Gilbert can't keep it in as it's chopped down the ice by Marco Sturm. Vancouver continues to put the puck 200 feet from its net and force these Oilers to come all the way back. And it's Taylor Hall. Stick handling to center around Hodgson. In. Fires a high shot. Wicked shot over top of Luongo. Nugent-Hopkins to Eberle to Hall. Tried to center it again. Stick in the lane there by Salo. Hodgson trying to lug it out, and he'll get it out of his own zone. Hodgson will get it deep.
Get a steady diet of that now, I think, from the Canucks. Work to get it to center, put it in behind the Oilers, force them to come through them.
Smead hits Smith, couldn't handle the pass. Henrik Sedin has it taken away by Nugent-Hopkins, who gets it in the zone. Smith tried to chip it behind Burrows. Eberle takes Burrows off balance. The puck comes free to Salo. Back to Alberts. Long pass, tipped by Burrows, no icing. Cam Barker heading up ice with Horkoff. Brian Jones giving chase, but it's tipped and out of play.
Yeah, they've dug deep, these Canucks. I think there are no must-wins 5 games into the regular season, but when you see them ramp up the intensity, and you can usually gauge intensity on face-offs and the willingness to do whatever it takes to make sure a puck doesn't enter your net, and there's been lots of that.
Potter gets it in on the glass. Down goes Ryan Smith. Then he makes a skate save to keep the puck in play, and it pops into the glove of Luongo. Feel the Oilers pushing back here now with 2:54 to go, coming with everything they've got.
Yeah, they're talking amongst one another and peeking at the time remaining on the clock here on home ice. They're at least getting a lot of these now, the opportunity to win a face-off. Here's Belanger again.
This time it's Malhotra taking on Belanger. And Belanger wins that draw. But good effort by Malhotra to poke it free to Hansen. Hansen coming right in, fires, pad save, and the rebound goes right by Lapierre. In transition now. Omar with Petrel finds Belanger, holds the puck, shoots. I think it went off the stick of Bieksa on high. Hansen gets it off the boards. Gloved by Potter. Checked by Lapierre. Back to Hansen. He'll chip it deep inside the Edmonton zone. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third period. Henrik Sedin coming off the boards. Loses the puck. Potter gets it free. Barker turning in his own zone. Trying to set up the rush. Back on the ice comes Horkoff. Rink wide pass. Gilbert ahead to Horkoff. Settling the puck. Gets it free to Ryan Jones, and he's tied up by Daniel Sedin. Jones in behind the net to Ryan Smith. Smith pressed by Hamhuis. Sedin helping out. Horkoff in trying to dig it, and he gets it free. Horkoff behind the Vancouver net. Off the boards. Gilbert a one-time blast, doesn't get through. Henrik Sedin now just gets it out to center off the stick of Tom Gilbert.
A little bit of indecision from the Sedin line as far as coverage in their own zone for a bit.
One last shift for the kids. Eberle off the boards, bouncing it to the line, but it's kicked right back out by Edler. Potter, rink wide. Up ice comes Nugent Hopkins, and the pass from Schmid. Higgins loses his stick on the check. Schmid up the boards. Nugent Hopkins takes the pass from Eberle, going right in. Back to Eberle. The drag move and can't get the shot. But a great stick check by Chris Higgins.
Who else?
What a night he's had. The net is open for a 6th attacker. As Ryan Smith comes on the ice, dropping the puck now. Potter ahead to Hall. Hall up ice. Charging now with Nugent Hopkins on Bieksa. Puck is free along the boards. Ryan Smith throws it right back in the corner. Nugent Hopkins battling with Bieksa. To the half boards, to the point. Barker throwing it towards the net and wide. It comes to Hall, reaching for it. Hall holding it. Finds Eberle behind the play, and he fanned on it. Now Barker along the boards. Eberle whiffs at the puck. It's sent right back up the ice, kept in at the point by Barker. Rink wide for Gilbert. Down low to the goal line in the corner. Taylor Hall back to the point. Tom Gilbert's shot bounces off a leg. 20 seconds to go. Pass doesn't get in front as Nugent Hopkins is checked from behind by Edler, and it rolls to center ice. Barker back up ice. The kids have been on the ice for 1 minute and 30 seconds already. He must be exhausted as it's sent deep, and that will be it. Barker back in his own zone with the fans cheering this effort tonight. Hall is exhausted as he fires it into the hands of Bieksa, and the horn sounds to end the hockey game.
Well, the Canucks bowed up here at the end of this game from the second intermission on, and the kids gave them all they could handle.
The Oilers are running out of steam in the third period with just 4 shots on goal. And Sammy Salo, who opened the scoring, finishes it.
Poor Alex Edler got caught flat-footed at the blue line. Nugent Hopkins with that pass that got gobbled up by Higgins, who was the best Canuck on the ice in the third period. I think Jannik Hansen just got back in time to foul up that centering pass. They knew he was coming late and looked like he was wide open. Boy, what a game.
What a game indeed. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins credited with his first NHL hat trick. It's not enough as Vancouver comes back to win and end a 4-game winning streak with a 4-3 victory. Run.
There are tonight's Molson Canadian.